23 was, I would say, was already a difficult year. We had about -4% in the top line. However, we see a quite different performance in different markets. Let me start with geographical start. China has been challenging, while North America has been really very positive for us. Mainland Europe also has some challenges, energy consumption, high energy costs, etc. So, and that will continue, I would say, in the same scale also for this year. Some challenges in the European market. I see a very, very positive environment in North America, and the rest of the markets we have to deal. So we clearly have the strategy local for local, and what does this mean? We want to be much, much closer to our customers, and not only in terms of manufacturing and logistic processes. I think this has been around for many years, but also in terms of engineering, because there are some specifics in the North American market, and we want to tackle them. So therefore, we are going to invest in operations, but also in R&D resources in North America. And at the end, I think that is where the entire business is moving towards: more decentralization, closer to customers, quicker response time, more closer to what is actually needed by the customers. I'm clearly convinced on the long run we have to bring it together, because I don't believe it is really helpful for everybody if we create a lot of productivity, but at the same time we are not sustainable. And so therefore it's clear that we have to focus on both. Now, depending on what business you are in, also depending on what environmental situation, political situation you are in, you may get slightly different focus. But one is clear: in the industry, productivity has to be, because that defines your competitiveness at the end. And I believe that the companies that combine the productivity element and the sustainability element will be more successful. By the way, we see it already in the financial world that companies that have a crystal clear strategy in terms of sustainability, they get some benefits of that. And this is not only on the productivity side. There's a number of very, I would say, interesting innovations. Number one, we call it controlled pneumatics. What does it mean? With piezo technology, we can control the pneumatic motion in an intelligent way, so we don't need all the way throughout the entire motion process the full pressure. So we can detect that after some while, 6 bar is not required anymore, and so we can reduce the pressure, and that saves a lot of energy. One element. The other element is we provide our customers a lot of tools to design the right products, and also in terms of operating the products. And that is, I think, very simple and easy to implement elements. And then on the long run, and we have started with that, you always can apply artificial intelligence, that you get more transparency on energy consumption or predictive maintenance. And so I think this is some good ingredients, but more to come for sure. Smart factory is the buzzword. And what does it mean? At the end, customers expect a higher productivity. In order to do so, you need to have full transparency what's going on in your factory. And once you have this transparency, then you can apply very specific measures to improve. And artificial intelligence is one element where you can then, based on the data collection, you can then predict, for instance, how does the machine perform in this week, next week, so you can predict maintenance issues, or you can predict quality elements. So artificial intelligence will be applied in many different directions. there are already some concrete use cases, like I mentioned, predictive maintenance, predictive quality. Now you could say this has been around forever, yes, but now we are entering the next level. So we can draw much more benefit with higher intelligence, higher analytical skills, more computing power. So I think this is one use case. The other one is, in the future smart factory also, devices talk to each other individually. Machines talk to them individually. So we have then an ecosystem that, let's say, is also managing partially by themselves. There's two levels. Customers start from the PLC, whether they use Rockwell, which is very common in North America, or Siemens, or Beckhoff. And we are a component supplier, so we have to be able to connect our products to these PLCs. So that is one task. So upwards. But then, if the customer has, for instance, an open architecture component like a valve terminal, he also can expand more valve islands, more valve positions, but he also can include remote I/O elements. He can include different functions. Pressure control, vacuum functions. So also the product itself is quite flexible in, let's say, for certain functions. And the machine builder can also do this, later in the process. So he must not think right from the beginning what is needed. So if he finds out that he needs more valves positions, he can include them later on. So this is what we mean with open architecture, very flexible solutions in terms of connectivity, but also in terms of technical functionality. Take myself, I'm a mechanical engineer, but we have been discussing about artificial intelligence, smart components, smart factories, connectivity, and so on. So I think that world, the technology is changing, and so therefore we have to upskill and skill our employees. And didactic is, by the way, I think it's a very important element in this skilling process, because everybody talks about shortage of skilled laborers, not only us, because in many markets it's a pretty dominant element. So the industry, we have to find a way that we train and skill our people for future requirements. Like I said, connectivity, artificial intelligence, this is a different set of technology. And so we have also to upskill our existing workforce. We cannot only hire new people, which are, by the way, not available for everybody, so that we also have a shortage there. So I think the only way to go forward is to work with our people to skill them on future requirements. I think I would go as broad as I can in terms of university degree. So I would do mechanical, I would do business, I would do electrical, but that's most likely, that caters my, let's say, my sort of interest. So interesting in many elements, because you never know what life will bring. And I'm, as I said, mechanical engineer, but how often do I use my skill set? Maybe not even 10% of my entire business life, but I think it's important, and we call it lifelong learning, because, and I think everybody's in that position, stay interested and remain eager to learn about new stuff, because there's always new stuff. Every day something cool is being invented, and I think this is also the beautiful thing in our industry, in our market. So